December of 2008, Mitsu Stockdale, one of the students, came to me with a desire to work with students at a hospital. She wanted to go and volunteer her time. She kept researching, and finally, late January, she came across Miami Children's Hospital. And Miami Children's Hospital has a program called Radio Lollipop. And she investigated and found out that we could make a difference to terminally ill children, to sick children that just had surgery, by going and cheering them up and doing a project. So she was able to get the project started as a project leader from start to finish.
There were two objectives for this project. The first objective was, as business students, we wanted to take a stance, a proactive stance, and figure out how we could make a difference within the college as well as the local community. The second objective was to really build a framework for volunteer services within Miami Children's Hospital to kind of branch together FIU and Miami Children's Hospital. We were at one of our group members' houses on a Friday night, I remember, and we were sitting around in her living room just thinking, what can we do to really make a difference? What is something that we could come up with that would not only be special for the kids, that would really mean something for us, would signify something for us, that when we left there was something that we left behind. And then we asked each other, well, what are things that kids treasure? What do they cherish in their lives? They cherish their family, their friends, and if you're in a hospital, you cherish your doctors and your nurses. And then we said, why not a treasure chest? And that would be something that could become a keepsake, a memorabilia for them. They could store their favorite music, their pictures, their iPod, anything that was significant in their lives, they could keep in this box. And then not only have it there as a reminder of what was important in their lives when they were in the hospital, but they could take it with them when they left. Radio Lollipop was great. They showed us the ropes that night. They are an internal radio and television station within the hospital, so they had a pre-existing relationship with many of those kids. They're a volunteer services group that is comprised of maybe 12 to 14 people. So their role was really just to support us 100% and make sure that we were comfortable. We went in there not knowing what we would see, and they prepared us. They said there may be kids that are kind of down tonight, some of which are very, very ill. You have to be prepared to, just kind of take a step back, don't show too much emotion. And Radio Lollipop and their volunteers really kind of lightened that mood for us and showed us, what you may see is difficult, it's hard to bear, but we can still bring a smile to their faces. And there's still kind of an ease that can take place. And they made that possible for us. I think their role was really to, again, serve as an inspiration, maybe a catalyst for us to say, okay, these are events that are taking place in your community. These are things that we have outlined that are important for us. What can you bring forth? What is something that you want to add upon this? Kind of to trigger that effect and really get our minds working. There were a couple challenges that we faced. The first challenge was that as students we lacked the personal resources. There was money that needed to be put forth. There was cash that we had to provide to buy the prizes and the goodies and the giveaways. We tried to exhaust our personal resources. We drove around the week before to all department stores, to Kmart's, to Payless shoe stores, trying to get all of the boxes that we could get, things that we really didn't have to provide money for, so to speak. We went to Publix supermarket. We got brown paper bags from all the managers that would serve as the wrapping paper for the boxes. And that is really where AT&T helped us. They helped us with their support, and they gave us the monetary funding that we needed to buy and come prepared that night to present those kids with their gifts and their prizes and their giveaways. The second challenge that we faced was that we lacked manpower. There were 5 or 6 of us that were present the night of the event. And that week we had to come and wrap 100 boxes, and we were so behind schedule. And I remember the Saturday before the event took place on a Wednesday, we called each other that night on the phone. We said, we are showing up tomorrow morning at class with these 100 boxes, and we're just going to ask. We're going to take a poll of who can stay after class, who doesn't have plans, who can just really designate their time, because we had to get these things done. And at the end of our third class, it was late in the evening, we asked the question. We said, who can stay? We need your help. And there wasn't a single person that denied their help. We really came forth, and there was a cohesiveness that was so apparent that day. There's so many special moments. There was a young girl, she was 12 years old. She was in the room with her father when I walked in. And again, we explained what the event was, what she had to put together, the premise behind what a treasure chest was. And she said, okay, I'll work on it. I'll have my dad help me, is what she said. And we came back about a half an hour later, and she had the box, and it was beautifully decorated, very detailed, colorful. And she gave it to me. She said, I want you to have this box. And when I looked at the front, it said treasure. And it said to live, laugh, and love throughout your entire life. And it hit me. I said, even someone that's 12 years old, experiencing so much compromise in their health, to know what matters most in their life, to know what matters at the end of the day. And you tie that into your business world, into your business degree. You start thinking, what does matter at the end of the day? It's more than, like I said before, just satisfying consumers, satisfying your community, satisfying your world. You have to really go above and beyond and always tie in that true aspect and meaning to giving back.
Well, I think that the whole class got very excited about it, and the enthusiasm that they did, they all jumped in together. It was an amazing job, amazing effort.